Looks like you lost another one.
Up the hammer. Put it on your wrist. Second down and 3. Jackson takes it himself. Look at him turn back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles. Now he's got an entourage. And he's got a touchdown. He's going to have resistance. Punch it through, young fella.
It looks like you lost another one.
Quickly the other way, and now the Hornets will set up shop. Oh, what a find!
Looks like you lost another one.
They need the 46. Here comes Kelsey. Down, away. The escapability of Roethlisberger. Chase by Stroud.
MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get! Yes! What's next? What's next? I gotta get it. I'm not gonna stay fucking down. I'm not gonna stay fucking lying down. I'm not. I can't do that, man. I can't do that. What's next? Give me something else. What can't you do? I can do it. I can do anything.
We are live with the Talk Your Talk Show, episode 25. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. I am your host, Eric Holmes. You can follow me on all social media platforms at RickT_E below, man. Today, we have a special lineup for you, man. We are talking to Denver Broncos journalist Phil Milani. So let's bring him on.
Murder on the beat, so it's not nice.
We are sitting here with Denver Broncos journalist Phil Milani. Phil, how are you doing today, man?
What's going on, Eric? Hey, thanks for having me on tonight.
Of course, man. We are super excited to talk to you, man. Super excited to talk to you. Only thing we know about you right now is that you are a journalist for the Denver Broncos. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, you're probably wondering, what does that mean? How are you a journalist for a team? I work in the digital media department here, so I cover the team pretty much just like a regular reporter would, except all my content goes up on our social media channels, our YouTube page, our website, stuff like that.
Nice. Love it, man. That has to be a fun job. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you grew up, where you're from, and how you got to the job that you're in now.
I'm from Denver, actually, originally. So I grew up a big Broncos fan. I went to school at CU, so I'm a buff. I got a broadcast news degree. And so after college, I went and I worked in local TV. I was a sports reporter. I was a sports anchor in some small markets. I went out to California for a little bit, and then I worked in Eugene, Oregon after that. And I was looking to get back home, and there was an opening here, and the timing worked out. So that's sort of my path. You know, when I was in school, this job did not exist. I mean, they thought that the internet was killing TV jobs at that time. But as it turns out, now I work, for a team, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. It doesn't matter what team you really liked growing up or anything like that. Of course, you grew up a Broncos fan, which is fortunate for you, man. But it didn't really matter what team you grew up liking. It just was a great job that you're in now, that you're able to, kind of cover any NFL team as it is. So that's a great job. Great answer. My next question for you, and this one comes from my guy, Tony Cave. He is a co-host on the Rick T podcast, our other sponsored show here on the Rick T platform. He asks, and he is a Broncos fan from Denver, same guy as you, man.
I love
it. He asks, do you really think the quarterback race in the preseason between Teddy and Drew Lock was close, or do you just think they were kind of keeping it close on social media?
You know what? That is the way that Teddy came out and played those first 3 weeks of the season. You're like, how is this a competition? I mean, he was playing so well, but I'll tell you what, like if you watch the training camp practices, you watch like the first preseason game, and it was really close. I mean, after that first preseason game up in Minnesota, it looked like actually maybe Drew was ahead of Teddy Bridgewater. But I think ultimately it came down to Teddy is that veteran presence. He's calm. He's got just sort of this confidence that's surrounds him. And I think that's really benefited the Broncos, certainly the first 3 weeks, where maybe you get down a touchdown early, but there's no panic. You feel like Teddy's got it, and he hasn't turned the ball over. The Broncos defense had been playing really well. And then, of course, last week against the Ravens, he gets knocked out of that game with a concussion, and then the wheels really fell off the bus. Broncos really couldn't do anything in that second half. Drew did not look like he was quite ready to come in and play. And now I know that a lot of fans are like sort of bashing Drew, but that was a tough spot to be in. You're facing a good team. All the momentum is on the Ravens side, and you're asked to just go out there after halftime and try and win the game. A tough spot for Drew to be in. And this week, we'll see what happens. I mean, Teddy's in this concussion protocol, so it really could go either way this week.
Yeah, man, I love that answer. And let's talk about that a little bit, actually, because I was there at that Ravens-Broncos game. Nor am I a Ravens or Broncos fans. I'm rocking Big D in Dallas, but my girlfriend is a really big Ravens fan. So I went ahead and took her, and I said, I'm going to go here, and I'm actually going to scout. I have Teddy on my fantasy team. Okay. I actually have some Broncos that I'm really interested that I think have a lot of talent. I'm going to go here and scout. And I was watching that game, and, man, Teddy Bridgewater, 7 for 16, 43% percentage, 65 yards. Got knocked right out of the game. I think they were down about 14-0, 20-0, something like that. Drew Lock comes in, goes 12 for 21, 113 yards, 1 interception, 3 sacks, no touchdowns. Wasn't a good game for either of you guys, but do you think that Drew can overcome his down game, not really expecting to come in? Do you think he's going to come into this week knowing that he's a starter and kind of prepare a little bit differently?
We'll have to see. I mean, if Teddy can get through the concussion protocol, he'll definitely start. We heard that from the Broncos head coach, Vic Fangio, today, that if Teddy's good to go, he's going to go. If it is Drew, though, I think that just having that week of reps with the starters going up against the scout team defense, he mentioned that he felt it was pretty tough just because he hadn't had that many reps during the week. That's life in the NFL for a backup. So he's never been a backup quarterback. So he said that he's still trying to learn how to be in this role. It's a lot more mental stuff. You're taking reps just mentally in meeting rooms, and you're watching Teddy do it while you stand there. It's so different. And Drew's been a starter his whole life. He's been a starter all through high school, all through college. The first couple of years here in Denver, he's been the guy. So for him to step in this role, it's been an adjustment for sure. And I think that this week, if he does have to play, I think you're going to see a different guy than you saw in the second half last week.
Yes, sir, man. Great answer. We are talking to Phil Milani, Broncos journalist. I want to call you a reporter the way you're talking.
I'm a reporter.
Man.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna say I want to call you a straight reporter the way you're talking, man. You're talking beautifully. You're giving me straight stats, straight answers, man. I'm loving it. Let's talk a little bit more about that Ravens game, man. As you know, the Ravens broke the record with the most games with 100-yard rushes, and it gets a little tense talking to any Broncos about that because they did it with the last play of the game to get that record. You seen on ESPN and in person as we were there that Vic Fangio took his headset off. He was throwing it. He was verbally pissed. What do you think about that from your perspective? And what do you think that from like a coach's player's perspective?
Well, Vic Fangio has sort of got this old school approach, and he is sort of like a baseball kind of guy where there's all these unwritten rules. He believes in that part of the game. And I think that traditionally there's sort of like a graceful way to win. You just take the knee, you go into the locker room, you're happy you got the win. I think that the Ravens approach things sort of differently there. Obviously they want to go for that record, but a couple weeks from now, a couple years from now, nobody's even going to remember that record. So to do it on a play like that too, where the Broncos are expecting the kneel down, it's not really a competitive play. I don't think you want somebody to get injured on a play like that. Obviously I'm a little bit biased, but I just sort of think you don't do that, especially in the NFL. You just take the knee, go into the locker room, head back to Baltimore. You got a big win on the road and just be happy with it. But I sort of see where Harbaugh is coming from. He says that record is meaningful to his players, so he wanted to go for it. But I just sort of think to me, it reminds me like in basketball when you're winning and you just dribble out the clock. You dribble it out. You don't try to chuck up a three. You don't go dunk it. You just dribble it out and then go into the locker room. So I sort of am more, I guess, old school in that approach. And I think you got to take a knee in that situation.
Yeah, Phil, man. And I was looking at it like, man, I kind of agree with Harbaugh. I agree with Lamar. But then looking back at the interviews after the game, Harbaugh said that is meaningful. You were exactly right what he said. That is meaningful. That means something to these players. And then looking at Lamar's interview, he said, I really didn't care about the record. All I really wanted was the win. And they were easily up. They would have had the knee and they would have easily won. So I guess it can go both ways. But the way you explain it makes me think a little bit more about it, and it could have been more gracefully done. And I've heard a lot of things said about the Ravens organization after this, and I don't necessarily know if they're true or not, but now I'm going to be watching for sure. You know what I mean?
I think just that certainly seen that with Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh. These are like fiery guys, and they don't really care about the tradition of, things. They just say, this is what we want to do, and we're going to just do it. So I think you understand that approach, but at the same time, you don't want somebody to get hurt on that play. You just sort of want to just go to the locker room.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. We got another question from Tony Cave, the co-host on the Rixie podcast. His second question is, in your opinion, why are the Broncos not able to draft young quarterbacks and develop them into great quarterbacks?
It's the hardest position to get that right. It's so hard to just sort of scout the guy, identify the talent, and then once he's in the building, groom him into a Pro Bowler, an All-Pro kind of guy. It's really difficult. I mean, the Broncos certainly have tried, and I know that you see around the league, Patrick Mahomes gets drafted into your division, Justin Herbert drafted into your division, and as a Bronco fan, you're like, these guys are going to be a problem for a long time. And, I think as a fan, you're like, I want that guy on my own team. And I guess the bottom line is that it's just sort of a tough position to identify. The college game is so different than the NFL game. But I think that you're just looking for a guy. Okay, does he have the physical tool set? Does he have the mental capability to come in here, learn a playbook, and then adjust to the speed of the NFL? And, like, I think you're even seeing it with like a guy like Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. These are the top 2 picks in the NFL draft. The Broncos beat both of them in back-to-back weeks. And, it's because it's hard to learn the NFL game. And there's no doubt that Trevor Lawrence is like a generational type of talent. It's just it takes time to develop these guys, get into a rhythm. And the Broncos certainly have tried. I mean, obviously the list goes on and on as they've tried to find that guy ever since Peyton Manning retired. And I think you just got to keep trying until you hit. And I don't know what the situation is going to be like with Teddy Bridgewater moving forward. I mean, he certainly is off to a tremendous start this season. And, if he can keep things going, maybe he's that guy here for the next several years, or, who knows what happens. But the Broncos certainly have tried, but it's a hard position to find.
Yeah, 100%, Phil. You brought up your division a little bit, how you guys have, maybe a Drew Lock or a Justin Herbert or a Pat Mahomes, but you didn't bring up Derek Carr. Do you think Derek Carr is a threat? I just personally want to know, do you think he is a threat just like the rest of these younger quarterbacks in your guys' division? Or do you think there's something that these younger guys have that maybe Derek Carr doesn't?
Well, I think those 2 guys that I mentioned, Mahomes and Herbert, I mean, I think that they are special kind of guys. I mean,
different.
Obviously,
level.
Patrick Mahomes is, out here setting records and winning Super Bowls his first couple of years in the league. So I think that, and Justin Herbert certainly seems like he might be on a similar path. I can speak personally from Broncos games. Derek Carr is a tremendous quarterback. I mean, one of the things that he does is he gets a ball out of his hands so fast. He gets it to those playmakers out there on the edge, and he just extends drives. They are usually in third and manageable, and they just rattle off these like 15-play drives for touchdowns. He's so hard to sack. And you've seen the start that the Raiders have gotten off to this year. They're 3-1, and a big reason why is Derek Carr. I don't know if he's still the leader, but he was for sure headed into week 4, the leading passer in the NFL. So I certainly think that the Raiders are more than capable of winning it with him, winning playoff games. I know it hasn't happened just yet for Derek Carr. He got injured the one year that they were really good, but I certainly think that they could win it all with a guy like Derek Carr. But maybe he's not quite in that same class as Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes, 100%. In my opinion.
Yeah, that's a great answer, man. That's all it is different classes, different levels, especially with 2 different quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, who are, eventually going to be Hall of Famers, have to be the way their career started. If they can continue on that way, it just looks to be that way. But let's talk a little bit into your guys' week 5 game, man. The Steelers, you guys are looking really good. 1 loss on your record, and it's against one of these guys' rivals. So let's talk about the Steelers. They have not been looking very good lately. Do you guys think you guys have this one in the bag, or do you guys think this may be a tougher game than you guys expect?
Well, I think from the Broncos approach, those first 3 weeks, they beat the Giants, they beat the Jaguars, and they beat the Jets. And heading into last week, they were combined 0-9. So the thought around the Broncos was they were beating bad teams. Let's see how they can play against a good team in the Ravens. And obviously Baltimore took care of business last week. So I think that for the Broncos, this is a week to bounce back from that and say, hey, that was just one game. That's a really good Baltimore team. Let's see if the Broncos can bounce back, and get back to how they were playing those first 3 weeks. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're 1-3. This is a big game for them in terms of how the rest of the season might look for them. I know Big Ben, obviously more than capable of playing at a very, very high level. For whatever reason, seems to be like he's been a little off target, has missed some open guys. Certainly he did that last week against Green Bay, but that he can turn it on. And so certainly not in the bag by any means. I think that when you're facing a defense that has Minka Fitzpatrick, Devin Bush, TJ Watt, anything could really happen. The Broncos quarterback situation is up in the air, whether it's going to be Teddy or Drew. So I think that for both teams, this is going to be a big one because for the Broncos, if you win this one, you're 4-1. you just beat a pretty good team on the road in the Steelers and you're feeling good. If you don't win this one, then you're 3-2. And that notion that those first 3 games were just against bad teams and maybe the Broncos aren't as good as we thought, those are 2 completely black and white different situations, day and night, different scenarios for the Broncos. And you know that Steelers team's going to be hungry, especially sitting at 1-3.
Yeah, 100%, man. And let's not forget that these guys were 11-0 at one point last year. You know what I mean? I get things change overnight, but they can't change too much. You know, they still got Big Ben. They still have Juju. They still have Claypool. Not too sure if he's playing. I know he's been injured on and off this year. But man, Najee Harris is even a dangerous move at the tailback position. And they still have Mike Tomlin, you know, to lead that team to victory, man. So like you said, the best word that you said about the Steelers is hungry, man. That's the best way to describe them right now, man.
For sure. And they beat Buffalo earlier this season. I mean, that we know what Buffalo is capable of. They look like maybe one of the best teams in the NFL. So this Steelers team is more than capable.
100%, Phil, man. One last question for you, man. And this is from our boy Tony Cave over at the Rick T podcast, man. But it is from all of us, and we would all love to hear the answer to this. For anyone watching at home, can you give our younger viewers some advice to get into the field of work that you're into? You know what I mean? If they love writing when they're younger, if they love, you know, just wanted to be around football, man, how can they get into this? What should they do?
Well, you know, like similar to me, just go to college. I got into a journalism program there at CU. And when I was there, I worked hard at it. I mean, I worked for a sports show that was up on campus there. I covered all the sports. It's not just football and basketball. I was at volleyball games. I was at lacrosse games. I was at club sports, just trying to work on my craft. You know, I was reporting there, you know, just trying to cut my teeth and really, you know, get better at what I was trying to do. And then I put together a resume tape. I think people still are trying to do that. And then the big thing I would say is just try to make as many connections as you can. Reach out to people, send them emails, you know, DM them. There's so many ways to get in touch with people. And then just keep the conversation going. Send some work, you know, like, hey, I just did this story. Like, what do you think about this? Or, hey, I just shot this report. Like, what do you think about this? And just keep that conversation going. Try and get an internship at the Broncos here. We usually hire 2 interns every year. They're usually college graduates who've just graduated. We hire them, and then they work the whole season for us. And that's a paid internship, and they can make all these contacts around the league. So you start talking, hey, I talked to the Chargers, I talked to the Raiders, you know, I talked to whoever the Broncos are playing, make some contacts, and then just keep those conversations alive. And then when a job comes open, you send your portfolio, and then you say, hey, I already have this relationship with you. Hey, Phil, you know, I saw that you guys have an opening, man. Like, I'd love to be considered, you know, and then boom, you get your foot in the door, and then you take off from there. But it's hard work, and a lot of times it's not very glamorous. So you just got to put in the time, and if you can do it, you can go wherever you want to.
100%, man. And that was a great answer, Phil. We are talking to Broncos journalist Phil Milani. Thank you so much for joining us here on your Wednesday night. I know you're a really busy guy, man. But I'm so glad you joined us here on the Talk Your Talk show, man. And I'm super gracious that you had the time, bro. Let's do this again soon if you have the time, sometime later in the season or something like that, man. Get a little bit more Broncos information out of you, maybe for our fans, maybe for the rivals. You never know.
Anytime, Eric, man. I appreciate you having me on, and this is a great show you got going here.
Appreciate it, man. Let's do this again. Like I said, sure. We are talking to Broncos journalist Phil Milani. Phil, have a great rest of your Wednesday, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You too, man.
Of course, man.
Murder on the beat, so it's not nice.
That was our interview with Broncos journalist Phil Milani, man. That guy knows his shit. I feel like I had to be all buttoned up journalist type, had to ask him some good question, man. But I really do like Phil, man. I like his personality. He really enjoyed the show, which I enjoy him. And we're definitely going to do that later on in the year with him, and maybe get him and Q on the same episode. You never know. Maybe an episode apart. Maybe talk about the Raiders one week. Maybe talk about the Broncos another week, man. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get to a quick commercial break, man. On the other side of commercial break, you know what we do here on the Talk Your Talk show, especially here on episode 25. We are talking NFL drama. That's all I'm going to say is drama. So stick with us, man. We'll be back in 5.
Watch us pull if a market for Aaron Rodgers ever opens up, watch the same thing happen that happened with Peyton Manning. He comes here, waits 2 years, wins a bowl, retires.
Not in this division, Tony. I'm just gonna keep it straight up and honest with you right here.
First of all,
never ever.
First of all, hang on. First of all, that's the team I'm worried about least. Least in the whole division. Least.
Come on.
Least.
Come on,
Absolute
man.
least. On the subject of quarterbacks, can I bring up our quarterback, Broncos quarterback?
Drew Lock or Teddy Two Gloves?
Let's talk about Drew Lock.
I was gonna. Last time they won a bowl, who are we talking about? The Raiders or the
Jay?
No, he's definitely talking about the Raiders.
Oh yeah, he's.
But hey, you know what? The first things first is we got a good ass season popping off, bro. And the thing is, we got Derek Carr, who's the first leader. Darren Waller, second. Who shares the stadium? The Chargers. You got to worry about them the least. They share a stadium with the Rams.
They have the best quarterback in that division, and that's
No bias. No, don't be biased
This isn't
around
bias.
here.
I swear to God.
Biased as hell.
You guys know I'm a huge Justin Herbert fan. Fuck the bias. Fuck the break. I'm telling you, midway week 6 through
the Raiders.
I'm gonna look at both of you and I'm gonna go, what did you say about Justin Herbert not being the best quarterback in that division? Or the Dallas Clark back from his summer vacation? Dallas Clark said, let Gain fight Jones. John Bones should have fought at least one fight. He also said, if he can stay off the peds. John Jones is on drugs. He's been on drugs. I'll say this about Will Fordy, and I'll say it about John Jones. Stay off the drugs, and then we can talk. But until then,
I want to ask you guys something just because I can cash out a bet right now. So I had a parlay for the Lightning, the Angels, the Giants, and the Astros. I put $40 on it. The payout was $162.04. Currently, I'm sitting with 2 of those teams have won. The other 2 teams are up by 1. And I could cash out right now for $108.82, or I could let it ride for $162.04. Chat, let me know what I should do. I'm going to do whatever chat says.
let it ride.
Let it ride?
Let it ride. I would let that ride, bro. Chris Herbert with the cash.
Ooh. Okay, it's up to 110 now. It keeps going up.
Let it ride for sure.
It keeps going up, baby. It's up to 110 now.
It's mixed. It's mixed.
No. Oh, man, I don't know what to do.
Oh, no. Jigga Man, the man of all man.
He broke it. Cash out.
He said, cash out, how you doing?
Hey.
Oh, what? Please try again. Cash out. We're about to catch me crying on stream if this shit doesn't let me cash out.
He said, cash out, put that 108 on Dustin.
Yes, I got the cash out. Let's go.
Stay in.
No, Jigga! Jigga said cash out. That was the tiebreaker. See?
That's it.
Cash out. Stay in. What am I supposed to do here, Jigga?
Holy shit.
Only one thinking Tyreek Hill would win this, Tony. I mean, besides Tyreek Hill, I guess. You know.
Hey, Tony, if this race happens, how much money are we putting on it?
Ooh, we have a wager, Tony. Tony, the question's out.
I'll put whatever's in my wallet right now.
Ooh, what's in your wallet? What's in your wallet, Jello? Pull your wallet out.
All right, let's see.
Let's see it. How much is Jello rolling with?
So we got 1, 2, 3, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85. I don't know, like 600, 700. I don't know.
This dude got rent money in his wallet. Giannis is at the line and he's like counting his hundreds. That's Jello, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, you got all that money and you still one of two that hasn't turned into fantasy money.
I don't have Cash App. For my business, I use PayPal and Venmo.
Obviously, you got the money. I see it right there in your hand. Jesus Christ. Hey, guys, take this.
Number 2, Surtain. Oh! Vikings football.
Are you calling him PS2 for real? There's literally a PlayStation that's called PS2.
That's why we're calling him that.
He's on Madden mode, bro. He's out there killing it.
His rating on Madden is probably garbage.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't
probably
know.
better than any cornerback you guys have in Dallas, though.
His rating's still better than the
argue that.
Cowboys' decision making, so we're good. Yes.
All right, well, we're going to get to a commercial break since you guys just wanted to get mad disrespectful. I'll see you guys next Sunday.
Oh, Jesus is Lord. Yes, come on. Be nice to me. Oh, bitch. Bitch, no. Bitch, no. Did I win? Woo! Woo! Let's go! Dub City, baby. I love you, yeah.
Gentlemen, Matt Prater is going to line up for a 68-yard field goal. This will be the longest field goal in NFL history, the longest field goal in football history. 68-yard attempt.
Got it up. And short. Agnew brings it out of the end zone. Agnew still running. Agnew down the sideline. Agnew! Touchdown, Jacksonville! 109 yards. Incredible!
And we are back with the Talk Your Talk show. In the first half hour, we did talk to Broncos journalist Phil Milani, man. In the second hour, we are talking our own shit about our own NFL news, baby. Let's get it. He was great, though. Let's be honest. This dude was honestly magnificent. Man, first topic we have, let's get to all the NFL news that happened today. And it's been a crazy day. If you're a Patriots fan, if you're a Cowboys fan, it's been wild. So let's see what happens, man. Starting off with Stephon Gilmore, man. He was traded to the Panthers later tonight, right after he was released by the Patriots early today, man. The Patriots were left roughly $54,000 under the salary cap and needed to clear some space. So Stephon Gilmore gave him an extra $5.8 million in cap space, man. Of the markets for Stephon Gilmore, he would have been picked up in the next couple of days anyway. But man, it is crazy. You guys see it in the top right corner. The Patriots are they were releasing him this morning, and this afternoon they were trading him. Don't know how they really had the clause to do that, but man, let's go ahead and go with it, man. Yes, you see Sergio Spinks in the chat crying. If you're a Patriots fan here, man, that hurts. And that especially hurts that he's going to the Panthers, man. And I'll say what I heard in my chat today, man. How many DBs do the Panthers need, man? They went ahead and got J.C. Horn with the number 8 overall pick. Then they go ahead and trade for Stephon Gilmore. But in their case, they did get him for a 6th round pick, which is basically nothing, man. They basically said, here, he's trash. Go ahead and take him. We'll go ahead and have him. the Panthers said. So I think the Panthers are going to be great with him. I think he'll do fine. I think he's going to be back after week 6 with his injury. He still is on IR, which is only 3 weeks this year. He'll be back. He'll be back and better than ever, I think. But he did make a statement to the Patriots Nation. He said, Pats Nation, it is with mixed emotion that I announce my goodbye to this great fan base. We enjoyed so much success together, and you have been an incredible inspiration for my individual achievements. Thank you for supporting this Rock Hill kid and always allowing him to achieve his NFL dreams. To Mr. Kraft, the coaches, and the organization, thank you for providing me with this platform and allowing me to be part of greatness. Most of all, I want to thank my teammates who lined up next to me every Sunday with one goal in mind. Those moments on and off the field will never be forgotten. Sincerely, Stephon, Big Two Foe. You know what I mean? Thank you, Gilly. Yes, sir. You got to thank Gilmore for what he's done in Pats Nation. He is part of the reason that they have a Super Bowl ring, to be honest. If they didn't have him, I don't think they win a lot of games defensively, which doesn't give them the playoffs or playoff spot that they needed. Doesn't matter if they have Tom Brady, Bill Belichick on the same team. Their defense is ass. They will be nothing. And Stephon Gilmore, sorry about that, was a big impact on this defense for, 5-6+ years. So shout out to Stephon Gilmore, man. But that is not the only crazy news that happened, man. Like I said, if you were a Cowboys fan too, you're a little bit confused on this one. And man, I'm the perfect man to answer this. But we did cut linebacker Jaylon Smith, man. Adam Schefter says in-season surprise, Cowboys release linebacker Jaylon Smith per source. He also said Cowboys still own linebacker Jaylon Smith, $7.2 million this season. Yes, and this is repercussions of Jerry Jones's mistake of giving him an early fat ass contract. We did give him one of the highest paid linebacker contracts in, I believe, his 3rd or 4th year when he came back in year 2 after his leg injury. He didn't even play his rookie year. He was a rookie in his year 2. And then we gave him a contract in year 3 for a fat $50+ million. And now Jerry's regretting it because he's not our starting linebacker. It's Keanu New and it's Michael Parsons, man. And he's kind of playing the backup role with Leighton Vander Esch. Which one would you rather have, the Wolf or, Jaylon Smith? And they picked the Wolf, man. So Jaylon Smith's got to go. But impressive news for him. And this is kind of the same situation that Stephon Gilmore would have had. The same thing happened, man. Got this news earlier. This just in, Jaylon Smith to the Packers. The 2019 Pro Bowl linebacker was just released by Dallas, is finalizing his deal in Green Bay. And this is via Ian Rappaport, man. So this is real shit, man. Dallas got rid of one of our backup linebackers. Green Bay is going to snag him and make him a starting linebacker. Hopefully we don't see Green Bay later in the season. Hopefully we don't see him in playoffs, because I would hate to go ahead and beat Jalen Hurts, in his reunion, or, his reunion to play in Dallas. I wouldn't want to hurt his feelings. He's a good guy. Really enjoyed his play the last couple years, but this last season and this season has just been really, really low, man, on ratings. But moving on, man, we're talking Urban Meyer here. And this is honestly the highlight of the night for me, highlight of the show. This has been the highlight of ESPN all goddamn day, man. So Urban Meyer, I talked about it last week. We got the breaking news from backstage via Justin Sanchez. Thank you for that, brother. But Urban Meyer, breaking news, he went viral for getting I'll go ahead and say it right, twerked on in the club, man. I said broken off, a lot said twerked on, a lot said he didn't even want to be there. But this is an interesting topic, man. Urban Meyer got twerked on in the club, and now this is a huge speculation, man. There's been statements made from their owner. There's been statements made from him, and he actually did go ahead and state an apology, and we'll go ahead and play it for you right now.
Yeah, I just apologize to the team and staff and for being a distraction, just stupid. And so I explained everything that happened and owned it, and just a stupid shot at myself in that kind of position.
Urban, did you fly back with the team, or did you stay in?
No, I stayed to see the grandkids, and we all went to dinner that night at the restaurant. And then there's a big group next to our restaurant, and they wanted me to come over and take pictures, and I did. And they're trying to pull me out on the dance floor, screwing around, and I should have left.
How did the team react? And that was probably pretty reactionary, or how did they take it, your apology?
Well, I've always been so defensive of them. I remember when Trevor told me he was going to go to Vegas for his bachelor party. I was just, my gosh, man, be careful and surround yourself, and because I've seen this happen, and so the team. I spoke to a bunch of leaders one-on-one, spoke to all the players, they're good. They were focused on Tennessee, and I apologized again for being a distraction. And a coach should not be a distraction.
How about your family? Did you feel a need to apologize to your family?
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, that's not me, and that's oh yeah, they're upset.
Have you talked to Shad Khan about it, and what was that conversation like?
I did talk to Shad, and very supportive, and Trent, I talked to him obviously at length. Right when I got that phone call that night, the next night.
Man, you guys heard it best from him, man. Coaches should not be a distraction, and that is exactly where Urban Meyer's been ever since he's been in Jacksonville, man. Everyone said it was going to be the Trevor Lawrence show. Everyone said it was going to be the Tim Tebow show, and now it's the Urban Meyer show. What the hell is going on in Duval? I've said it for 3 weeks in a row. What the hell is going on in Duval, bro? You don't take the #1 draft pick, the best prospect since Peyton Manning, and go 0-4. That's just not something you should do. You know what I mean? You were one of the legend college coaches. I think you're in the College Coach Hall of Fame. You're 0-4 in your NFL debut. And, I won't go against it. Nick Saban came into the NFL, coach for the Dolphins, and went 1-15 one season. Look at him now. Coaching for Alabama, being great. National championship every other year. Competitive every single year. I don't know what it is, man. We have a new fan here, man. It looks like, what are we calling this guy? Atastrophical? Atastrophical. That's what we'll call it. I didn't want to go ahead and pronounce that wrong, man. But Atastrophical, we appreciate you for tuning into the Talk Your Talk show here on the Rick T platform. You already know what we have to do here on the Talk Your Talk show. Here on the Rick T platform. As soon as I find this, we're going to go ahead and give it to you one time. Thank you, Atastrophical, for tuning in. Go ahead and give you one time, man. We always love new viewers. We always love new chatters, man. But let's keep it popping, man. Lil J6 is saying Jacksonville is shit. Honestly, they have to be. They have to be. And I thought Jacksonville was going to be competitive. Everyone had them week 1 against the Colts. I definitely didn't. Or it wasn't even against the Colts. Everyone had them week 1. They didn't go ahead and win. Everyone had some of them week 2. Didn't go ahead and win. Who has a Jacksonville Jaguar on their fantasy team right now is my question. That is truly my question. And Lil J6 is saying next year they'll be better. So will the Saints, bud. And I don't want to talk about that. I know this is a tough game for you to talk about, but the Saints just lost in overtime to the Giants, the 0-3 Giants. So it's tough. It's tough. And Atastrophical saying I do, man. RTP Deadly's in the chat saying, yo, man, I appreciate you guys all for tuning in wherever you guys may be tuning in from, man. But let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. We were talking about Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer said it himself in the interview, man. I'm sorry, coaches shouldn't be a distraction. I should have never stayed without my team. I should have went home to Jacksonville with my team, but instead I stayed in Ohio and visited some family. How are you visiting family at the club? Is my question. Yeah, some girl asked me if I wanted to take a picture. She brought me on the dance floor doing some silly shit. I should have just left. No, instead you stayed. So my question is what the hell is going on, man? This is what I think. This is exactly what I think Urban Meyer. This is called the Eric Holmes Urban Meyer catastrophe, man. And I'm going ahead and pinning this for TikTok. Eric Holmes Urban Meyer catastrophe realm. In my head, this is exactly what he's doing. Trevor Lawrence, he can't be the distraction, man. He's doing very well. He's a nice Christian kid. He can't be the distraction. Tim Tebow, we released him. He can't be the distraction. I'm not doing very well in the NFL. I'm 0-4. What can I do to get the hell out of here? I can't play, the bad health angle. He even said it himself in an interview, man. All these losses are hurting my heart. I was like, oh, here we fucking go with this guy. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing, Urban? You can't keep playing this angle. So now I feel like he's trying to hit the shitty husband angle. And he's like, man, I got to take some time off to be with my wife and be with my family. He's going to sit there for a couple weeks, watch Jacksonville start doing decent, and he's going to go, hello, USC? USC, University of Southern California, the head coaching job is open. You guys fired your coach week 1? I can go to one of the prestigious colleges in America, in LA, and do my thing in college again, or I could stay here and keep losing with Trevor Lawrence and being a distraction on purpose. I think that's exactly what he's doing. Urban, we're on to you. That's all I'm going to say is, Urban, we're on to you. You're caught. You ain't fooling us. I'm telling you, wait for it. He don't want that Super Bowl, man. He wants the ladies. You already know what it is, man. Let's keep it moving, man. This next topic is deep as hell today. I did get this via group text via Tony Cave. You guys know my boy Tony had to go ahead and drop some deep information in here, and I didn't hear about this, but this is interesting news, and I'm excited to talk about this. I'm excited to get some opinions from chat. Maybe we'll reach backstage and see what he has to say about this, because I honestly have hella no clue what to think about this, man. But breaking news via Bleacher Report, so you guys know this is valuable prestige information, man. Federal law enforcement raided the Washington football team facility last week, with hard trainer Ryan Vermlin placed on leave due to an ongoing criminal investigation that is unrelated to the team, per Washington or NBCS Washington. Man, I don't know what to think here, man. I really have no clue what to think here with this. They got a manager that's, doing illegal shit off the field. They went ahead and raided the whole Washington football field facility. I guess they didn't find anything because the football team is still playing. But imagine if they would have found something. Like, imagine if this guy is a big time coke dealer. Let's go ahead and put that into perspective. And he goes ahead and fills one whole locker room behind the lockers full of coke. They go ahead and raid that shit and find that shit. What happens to one of 32 football teams? What happens to that $1 billion organization? And if I may say, one of top 5 most expensive franchises in all of sports: football, baseball, basketball. Washington football team is in the top 5. I promise you that. Along with the Dallas Cowboys, along with the New York Giants. Wealthy division. I don't know what to think about it, man. I want to go ahead and get chat and see if you guys can go ahead and tell me what you guys think. I have no clue what to think about this, man. If no one goes ahead and answers in chat, we're just going to move on. But if you guys go ahead and answer, we'll go ahead and bring it back, man. But moving on, and this is via Adam Schefter once again. He said NFL's lone unbeaten team is now the Arizona Cardinals, sitting there at 4-0, man. What is going on with these Arizona Cardinals? I'll tell you what's going on with the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm eating my words about it, because I told you guys a whole lot different in the beginning of the year. Do not pick Kyler Murray in the fantasy league. Don't take Kyler Murray. He's not going to click. He's too little. He's going to get smoked in the pocket. Kyler Murray is a goddamn guru. He is a goddamn king in that pocket, bro. You can't stop him, bro. He is literally a mini Lamar Jackson, maybe a little more versatile than Lamar, just because he's smaller. But man, Kyler Murray is dangerous, man. Sergio Spinks is saying favorite team to watch since 2 seasons ago is the Cardinals, it seems like, man. And that's interesting to hear, man, because of Kyler Murray. There's people that watch, the Arizona Cardinals. And I know exactly why Sergio is watching them, because he's an OU fan. There's a lot of Oklahoma fans that follow their quarterbacks. There's a lot of Oregon fans like myself who follow their quarterbacks, man. You're not going to tell me I wasn't a big Tennessee fan when Marcus Mariota went there. I'm a Dallas fan at heart, but, bro, I was supporting Tennessee every chance I got when he was a starter. You're going to tell me every time he got in the game as a Raider that I didn't want him to do good, because I did. You're going to tell me that I don't want Justin Herbert to win Rookie of the Year, don't want him to beat Patrick Mahomes and Derek Carr, because I do. Hey. People follow their teams, man, and it's interesting to see how great the Arizona Cardinals are doing with DeAndre Hopkins, Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray. Let's go ahead and talk about that two-headed monster that they have back there, James Conner. He's doing his thing. Man, AJ Green has got, 250-plus yards. I just checked it today in the fantasy league. I was shocked as shit. Like, what? AJ Green? What's going on here? That team is lethal. And we're not even talking about Chandler Jones's 5-sack game on Tannehill. We're not even talking about their offseason moves and, picking up Buddha's new number. Buddha, one of the best safeties in the game. They picked up J.J. Watt at their other end, man. That team is lethal, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future, but I do not have them going undefeated. Any given Sunday, and they're just not the team to do it. If Kyler Murray goes undefeated, first time since 1970, since the Dolphins went 17-0 or 16-0 or whatever it may be, and Kyler Murray does it, that'll blow my shit. Sergio Spinks the same, but they started the same way last season, and defense went to shit. Hey, I say the same thing about Russell Wilson every single season. It happens. He falls off after week 6, week 7. He falls off, and that Seattle team is not looking good. They always make playoffs by the hairs of their chin, but they are never good. They are never competitive the minute they get the playoffs. And if they play anybody from their division, the NFC West, that's dangerous. I wouldn't mess with it. Sergio Spinks is saying, but with Watt and Simmons healthy all season, we'll see. Let's see if they can stay healthy is my question. Let's see if J.J. Watt, who has never been known to stay healthy all the way through a season, can stay healthy. He's always been known to play through his injuries, I'll tell you that much. He's got a torn bicep. He's playing. So let's see if J.J. Watt can go ahead and stay healthy, man. Let's move on to a different subject, man. Justin Fields, not Justin Herbert, sorry about that. Justin Fields is named starter going forward for the Bears, man. And this is what confuses me about Matt Nagy. Why didn't you say this shit week 1, my guy? Why did you have to drag it out with Andy Dalton and go ahead and get him hurt again and then go ahead and play it hardball with Justin Fields? You're not starter. You're just going in there. Andy Dalton's our starter when he comes back. Eric's got the softest hands on planet Earth. No, that's you, Tristan. That's you, buddy. Shout out my boy Tristan, man. Hope you're doing well in Japan. Hit me up when you get back, my man. Doing it for the land. I catch you on the gram. Just playing. I ain't gonna rap for you guys, but that was saucy. But man, no, we're talking about Justin Fields, man, and Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy is dumb. I went ahead and sent a Snapchat the other day when Vic Fangio was throwing his headset at the Broncos game. I was like, Vic Fangio's coached 32 out of 32. He is the worst. Just for doing that as a football coach, an NFL football coach, for getting mad for playing football, pisses me off. And, we talked to Phil Milani just a little bit ago for Denver Broncos reporter. And he told us, man, I kind of feel his pain. I kind of feel how that can be frustrating. And I said, no way, man. There's no way. I think that is childish. I don't agree with it. But as you speak about it, maybe I'll think about it a little bit more. Now I'm thinking about it. He has not coached 32 out of 32. He's coached 31 out of 32. And Coach Matt Nagy, and Jello said it, Tony said it, Justin said it. He has coached 32 out of 32, 150%. This guy is ass. Why did he drag this out 5 weeks to make this decision when everyone knew this was the right decision? Draft night at pick number 12. When after they picked him at pick 11, at pick 12, everyone was like, yes, our future is bright. I have it on tape. Go back to our YouTube and watch the draft extravaganza. There literally was someone on our show going, our future is fixed. Well, what the fuck happened for the first 4 or 5 weeks? Where was that future? Matt Nagy was ruining it. I don't know who the owner is, but why is Matt Nagy your guys' head coach? That's all I'm going to say on that. Moving on. Man, Joey Bosa said something deep on these refs, and I think a lot of people can agree with it, including me. Honestly, I can agree with this. I can get on board with this. He said, and quote, refs are blind. I'm sorry, but you're blind. Open your eyes and do your jobs. It's so bad. It's unbelievable. It's been years of terrible missed calls. And I'll say this, it's not even missed calls. It may be sometimes over calls. Like there's sometimes where they'll be playing the game. They'll let the boys, maybe snug a little bit too deep, whatever. He doesn't call it through the first 3 quarters. And then he just starts throwing it hard as shit when the game is close in the 4th. Why? Like, why are you overthrowing the flag? Why are you overdoing it? And then there's sometimes that they underdo it. There's sometimes they'll be throwing it the whole game. And then the minute the game's close at the end, they won't throw shit. It doesn't matter if they're on their face mask. Doesn't matter if they're on their horse collar. They are not throwing shit, man. And my guy T Cave is saying, yo, I had the busiest past 2 hours at work. What's up, dude? What's up, dude, man? You're going to have to go back to hour 1 and watch Phil Mickelson. Phil Milani. I said Phil Mickelson. Yeah, watch Phil Milani, man. Dude was a goddamn beast, Denver Broncos reporter. Gave us some great answers. We got a lot of information about the Denver Broncos, man. So go back to hour 1 and go ahead and watch that, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook Live. Check it out, man. But right now we are talking about this horrible officiating that Joey Bosa just so happened to notice that I guess no one else noticed. No one else had the balls to say it. I don't know why these refs are so defended when they make such bad calls and ruin games. You guys seen it a couple years ago with the Saints game. No repercussion happened from that. None. You guys seen it week 1 with the Dallas Cowboys, and a lot of people say it's not their fault that they lost the game. Exactly, damn right. It's Greg Zuerlein's. We missed 2 field goals and an extra point. Believe me, I know that. But that call at the end meant everything in us coming back to win it by ourselves. and you don't want to call it. There's been horrible officiating, man, and I'm not even seeing what Joey Bosa is talking about. I'm just seeing what I specifically see. Man, I can't even imagine being one of the great defensive ends in the league like Joey Bosa and being so vicious and lethal, and then going ahead and saying that, these refs officiating are horrible, man. They're kind of teaching O-linemen to hold nowadays, and that's the new standard. It's not right. And I give him kudos for speaking up on that, man. Shout out to my boy Joey Bosa, man. But moving on, last couple subjects. You guys already know we have to talk about this, man. The Rick T Podcast $1,000 Showdown. We will talk more about it on Saturday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But, man, let's look at this week's matchup and this week's standings. So, standings at 1, the Brady Bunch, which is my girl, Haley Hall. Hey, baby. Hey, how you doing, girl? At 2, Incomplete, DeLon Kennedy. At 3, Farachi's Butt Flumbers. My guy, Matt Farachi, 3-1 with a close win against me last week. At 4, Odell No, which is my opponent this week, which is, our opponent last week. Jesus, what the hell is going on with these? Did I get the wrong goddamn schedule? No, this is right. Odell No at 4. Sorry about that. At 5, we have Fuck the Jets. At 6, Beans Above the Frank, which is myself. At 7, Vanilla Vic, my guy, Jason Zegan. At 8, we have Big Easy Mafia, which he'll go ahead and say in chat, I should be 3-1. I should be ranked number 2 right now. Whatever. Well, you're sitting at 8. At 9, Discount Belichick. My guy Tony got his first win last weekend. Can he come back to make playoffs in this year's $1,000 Showdown? And at 10, this is the biggest surprise in the league. This is kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs if they keep losing. Fresh Spencer Hilaire, man, and he actually took the Kansas City Chiefs name. He is sitting at a fat 0-4. But one thing I will give my guy Jello sitting at 10, man, he has no excuses on why he's at 10. He's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. My team is just losing. I just don't know. I'm 4-0 in all my other leagues. This league, I just can't win. I understand it, man. It's weird because all my leagues are synced. If I win in one, I will win in the other. But if I lose in one, you goddamn right, I'm going to get my ass beat in the others, man. And I'm sitting at a fat 2-2 in literally all 3 of my leagues, man. You playing with my money. I ain't playing with your goddamn money, Jay. I ain't playing with your money, fool. Why do you always think I'm playing with your money? You be playing with our money. Last year was $20 and you wanted to cheat your ass off, and you got away with it somehow. This year, there's $1,000 on the line. I'm not cheating anybody. I will get my ass killed for $1,000 in the streets. You know what I'm saying? If any of y'all thug, I'm a dead boy. I'm a dead guy. If I play with anybody's money. TK was saying I went 4-4 in fantasy this week in all my leagues. See, and that's the thing that I don't understand is I am overwhelmed with 3 leagues, and I don't really give a fuck about 2 of them. 2 of them are my family, maybe some close cousins in another one. Like that one's pretty competitive. But this one for $1,000, I care the most about. I don't care about my other ones if I win or lose. But like I said, my shit's synced. My shit is synced, man. Moving on to our final topic of the night, man. You guys already know what it is tomorrow. I talked about Russell Wilson earlier in the show. I said he's going to fall off after week 6. Well, it is week 5, man, and we're going to see what he has as the Rams 3-1 come into Seattle 2-2 to face the Seattle Seahawks. I'm interested to see this one. This is a Matt Stafford versus Russell Wilson game. I don't think I've ever seen this. Or actually, I may have seen it and just never really watched it because he's played for the Lions. But now that he plays in the division for a great team like the Rams, I'm excited to see what Matt Stafford has in store. And like I said, week 6 is right around the corner, man. Is Russell Wilson going to fall off? I think we will find out this week, man. So go ahead and watch this game. Rams 3-1 at Seattle Seahawks 2-2. The Rams are a 2.5 or minus 2.5 favorite. Over under 54.5, man. I have the over. This is one game that I have the over 54.5, man. But, man, this was the Talk Your Talk show, man. We had some great talk. We had some great talk with our guy Phil Milani. We had some great talk about Stephon Gilmore, little Jaylon Smith. Let's not forget about Urban Meyer, man. Let's go ahead and give him a shout out, man. Keep him going viral. Urban Meyer, hashtag Urban Meyer on Twitter. Go ahead and get him out of the NFL into UFC so we can spank his ass at Oregon every single season, man. You guys know it now. Justin Fields is named the starter going forward for the Bears. There are some interesting things going on inside the Washington football team's facility. I'm just Dallas Cowboy, baby. And one thing I want to say at the Denver game, I'm going to make these shirts. They were the best damn shirts There were shirts on the front. It said, "Give her the D." It said "Give her," and then it said the D, and it was a big ass D, and it had like the Broncos logo, and then on the back it said, "Bitch, I'm a Bronco." I was like, I can use that for Dallas. Give her the D. Bitch, I'm a Cowboy. You already know what it is, man. Talk Your Talk Show, man. Episode 25. I am your host, Eric Holmes. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Ricky_E. We are out of here. We'll see you Saturday night for the Rick T Podcast. And this is the Rick T platform. I am Eric Holmes. We are out. Peace.